So, hello everyone, Myrmonden here, and welcome to my review of Yowamushi episode 22. Pretty short review I usually do because only two major things to talk about. Major things, but just two of them, right? One of them is, like talent versus raw strength, raw will, which is called Tashima versus Manami, and I really liked that. That was really good. It was a little predictable, but I really enjoyed that, and they still go on next episode. And that is probably gonna be the season's end, right? That you're gonna have that battle. Unoda might join in, whatever, right? But that's gonna be like Tashima. I think that's gonna be kind of the culmination. Well, I guess they maybe gonna finish this first day race too, but that's probably the high point. It feels like because probably won't finish the next episode, probably so. But that's really good and very interesting. And then we have the Unoda versus like the crowd. But anyway, let's start with this. I think the main part there because it's like a classic anime, right? Kind of classic because you have this one guy. And Tashima has this story since the beginning when him and Aogi lost to Unoda in season 1. It's like, okay, he's a very focused guy, smart guy, high willpower, but has no talent, no inherent skill, right? And he can never really succeed the third year. This is the first year to the intro high. And everyone is like, whoa, this guy number 5, never done intro high before. And see the older climbers are like, oh, we can never beat Mono. See those guys that are speaking of people, of course. Because they're like, oh, I'm the climber of Mount Fuji. I'm the king of Fuji. It's like, oh, I'm going to try beating them. Like, yeah, obviously those guys are losers. But they still look down on Tashima because obviously he's the main character. Or he is the main character. But Tashima has been the actual main character this season, right? More or less, right? And again, here he's the on focus. So this is like the third time he is. So, yeah, there's so much story on him. And I really liked him in the first as well. Kind of back a sportive character, him and Yogi fighting, never really getting a chance. So it's a really good battle. Will he win though? I hope he will win because they did lose the speed, the sprint, so I hope he win the climb. But in one way I also hope that someone else, like Michiyoshi or someone's gonna come in from the side and win. That'll be interesting. If someone like, because we're not seeing their team at all. We've seen the other team blocking Unoda, but it'd be interesting to see, but that's kind of the pink guys, good so to say. That would be cool, but otherwise it's a really good battle, right? Classic battle between like this enormous willpower versus someone who has like very little willpower and is very casual guy. But I kind of liked it though. And Manami is like, yo, there's another enemy. Let's go and beat them together. Oh, I'm happy you're following me. Oh, that's be too easy. And like, yeah, la. And obviously Tashima is like, my only chance that this idiot is not gonna try to beat me for real, right? He just keep doing this like, yeah, I'm so good. Yeah, la. You see, just scrolling in the park. Yeah, they're hoping to keep doing that so I can beat him. So, him underestimating him is, of course, his biggest disadvantage for Manami. It's like way too, top of himself, probably that's the thing. Yeah, very interesting though, and very classic course too. For example, like Ice 21, right? It's very similar to, for example, Argon versus Harima, right? It's like, well, okay, yeah, but you never, you might be the biggest genius ever, but you never actually exercise. I'm better than you because I exercise more in someone, right? So it's very classic. And it's very Japanese too, right? Because hard work pays off in Japan, right? It's very that culture. It's like you have to be hard working. That's the biggest thing, right? Not actually being good at something. Being good at hard work ethics is more important than being good at it. Like that's actually how you reach the top, right? So I think it's very classic. But anyway, that's the second part of the episode. Good part. The first part, I hate how we got there. I really do, because I tested my knew we were gonna get there. And the other guy's like, yeah, this is his weakness. And like, no one told him about this. It's like, yeah, it's weird how Unoda is in that point and no one ever told him about the pressure or, prepared him for it. And of course, but it's interesting though, as a story progression, because obviously Unoda is horrible at this. Because he's just a timid person. Like he's he accidentally hurts the other guy blocking him, right? Like his ankle, but it's like his wrist. Yeah, but it's like he can't really do more than that, and all the riders would push themselves, more forcefully. But he just do because Unoda is, so it's a big problem for him. He's very bad with that, but primarily, honestly, for me, I felt more for the other guys. I like the other guys are normal people. They don't have the main character plot armor and so on. They're like, we're just doing our job. We so much chance. So I love that scene. Una's like, but my job is to, carry the team on the mountain. Please let me pass. And he's like, my job is to stop you, kid. Like that kind of thing. I was like, yes. That's actually a pretty good line because in the perspective, right, he's just a douchebag with like super talent for climbing. Like what the hell can they do, right? So, yeah, I think it was pretty good. But it feels a little like, you know, I don't know. I expected to finish this episode and they're still doing it. It feels like Unoda haven't really learned anything yet. Like, he hasn't, like, it's an interesting character development for him. He has to kind of beat this. But this episode he didn't at all, right? He didn't progress for a second. Like, he progressed by getting a few of them off him, by going back and then switching on the side, using his, like, absurd talent, pretty much. But that shouldn't, like, if he beats them by, like, brute force talent, I'm gonna be disappointed. I hope he has to beat them with, you know, brains, right? Beating them with, like, okay, how do I trick them? How do I, can I, you know, force myself through here, something? And that's interesting. I mean, I don't want to see him brute by being on the best climber I can use right from you guys, you know, in super speed. I want to be more like I have to, you know, actually force myself in this angle so they will move to the side, or else they will, you know, fall down or something, and then I can go up. But like something like that, that's actually more character development, like using, you know, actual bicycling skills, right? Because obviously in real life you can do that as well, but it's kind of hard. People actually will try to, you know, do different stuff and so on. And Unoda is just like, I'm just gonna rely on my super climbing, you know, like that. That's kind of like, you know, it makes no sense in, you know, an actual strategy, right? It's just like, oh yeah, I'm the 10th person everywhere else, so I have to find an angle and I can go like that. Like that doesn't make any sense, really, right? And doesn't actually make him as a character be a better at what he's actually doing. It means he's abusing his like super skill pretty much, right? So I would rather see him actually beating them at, you know, some kind of strategy, maybe packed it with someone, you know, the worst different systems to do it, or maybe not doing it at all. But it feels like, yeah, so I felt that that could be done this episode, him actually character development out of that. But I guess it'll be next or 2 weeks from now, if they move it slowly and focus more on the Manami versus Teshima part, which is much more interesting. Last night, when I mentioned, I loved the 2 parts. I love the beginning. I love the father. He was like, "Bada me!" It was like to get the, you know, explosive parts. And see his daughter like, "Bada, daddy! Oh, son, you're gonna die." He's like, no, they have strategies. Really? That would be fine. That was great. The first minute there was fun. It was fun as hell. And I also love the Manami part. We're talking about his, like, you know, girlfriend, the class rep, right? And it's like, you know, I had this class rep girl, and it's like, she comes to every race I do, but when I ask her about it, she hates bicycles. I don't get it, man. It makes no sense to me. How can you hate bicycles? And why would she come then? And she touched him, but like, kid, he's like, come on, man. Like, obviously she likes you. And he's like, I'm seeing, he's like, oh god, this guy's an idiot. I was like, wonder why. It would be great though. He totally, like, when they're like doing this like duel in next episode, and it's like, you know that girl you talked about? She always is in love with you. Oh really? And I was like, yeah, I'm just afraid from her. That would be great. Because they told him that, like, that story was like, and he's like obviously getting it that she likes him. He's like, yeah, I know what she's doing that. And he's like, using his own speech for something else. And that would be great if he uses a weapon later on. Like, you know, she likes you, right? Like you. And he loses his composure and everything past it. That would be great. I hope it's gonna happen. That would be perfect ending for it. Anyway, I think it was a pretty good episode, but I felt that Unoda, I don't know, it's like, I won't say it's bad yet, but I hope Unoda's gonna have a more, you know, something new, right? And not just use his like super ability of climbing 10th fast and everywhere else kind of thing. Like that would be kind of lame if he beats them by just being so much better at his one only skill, right? So anyways, see you guys next week and have a great day.